After more than a year of courtroom drama and explosive testimony, a stunning development has just shaken the case surrounding Sean Diddy Combs. Reports now suggest that his sentence could be significantly reduced, raising the possibility that the music mogul may walk free far sooner than anyone expected. The news has ignited a firestorm of reactions across the entertainment world, but no one appears more outraged than longtime rival 50 Cent. Sources close to the situation claim he is furious over the prospect of Diddy's early release and is determined to push back in every way possible. As tensions escalate and the spotlight intensifies, one question is now dominating the conversation. What will happen next if Diddy actually walks out of prison sooner than anticipated?
Combs, it looks like he could get out of prison early, not that much earlier, but a little bit. The New York Post reports the rapper will now be released on April 25th, 2028, instead of June 4th of that same year, 2028. The early release reportedly comes after he went into a rehab program in November. Diddy has been in prison since his September 2024 arrest. In July 2025, he was convicted on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. He is appealing that ruling.
Right now, many people are asking the same question. Why was Sean Diddy Combs granted an early release? Officials claim the decision was based on good behavior, but critics say that explanation doesn't add up. Reports previously suggested that just 6 months into his sentence, Diddy was caught violating prison rules after allegedly drinking alcohol inside his cell, an action strictly prohibited in prison. Such a violation would normally disqualify an inmate from early release programs. Yet despite that incident, the outcome appears to be the exact opposite, leaving many observers questioning how this decision was made.
Toilet wine, on the other hand, is a fermented combo of Fanta, sugar, and apples. And though there are many variations, they are all alcoholic, which is the point, and all strictly off limits in lockup. But TMZ is reporting that Diddy has been caught with the stuff, this week in fact. He did have a birthday on Tuesday and was going to be moved to a new unit apparently as punishment, but the officials changed their minds according to the report. But that still leaves the question of Diddy's alleged newfound sobriety, which he made such a big point of emphasizing when he was sentenced, and whether this will have any impact on that sentence.
The only reason Sean Diddy Combs reportedly pushed to be transferred to Federal Correctional Institution Fort Dix was because of its well-known rehabilitation program. The program allows certain inmates to earn early release if they demonstrate consistent good behavior and successfully complete treatment, but according to reports, Diddy allegedly did the opposite. He was accused of making unauthorized phone calls to some of his alleged victims and even smuggling alcohol into his cell. So if those claims are true, the question becomes even bigger. Why was he still allowed out early? And the explanation some sources are pointing to paints a very different picture, one that could connect all the dots.
But what a lot of people don't know, and why it is serious in prison, it could blow up. So if you don't know what you're doing and you don't let it breathe, as they say, it could actually be like a bomb. So it actually can blow up and everything will spray everywhere. But it can get you drunk, and it could also land you in the hole. So, I mean, I don't know as far as them saying he's going to move him out of the unit. I know it's a very serious ticket. I know he could lose his phone, he could lose commissary, and he could lose visits, and also maybe go to the SHU for up to 30 days or maybe more.
So, I mean, that's all serious stuff. I keep wondering about the sentence. Do you not think it's possible, especially since he campaigned, in his sentencing, that he was getting sober? He'd been working, on a sobriety at the MDC. Now he's at Fort Dix. And if this is true, if the report's true, might they say, well, screw it. You're not getting your 15% off your federal sentence.
Right. So it don't work like that. But every ticket in the feds, if it's a certain degree ticket, you will lose some good time. We call it good time. In New York State and federal prison is two different. You could actually lose your good time in New York State or any state prison and get your good time back. The feds, once you lose it, you can't get it back. So if he does lose 20 days, 40 days for this, he cannot get it back. Or whatever they recommend for him to lose, because they will recommend days to be lost on this kind of ticket.
At this point, many believe the good behavior explanation is just a cover story. Long before any sentencing even happened, Suge Knight made a bold prediction about Sean Diddy Combs. He claimed Diddy would never spend more than a year behind bars, and that even if he received a longer sentence, he would likely be released early. Now, some sources are pointing to a far more controversial theory. that Diddy may have received special treatment because he allegedly cooperated as an informant for the Federal Bureau of Investigation. If that claim were ever proven true, it could explain why so many people believe the outcome was decided long before the case ever reached its conclusion.
How does it go on for so long? You know, when we were on the street, we didn't get a day's rest. I mean, the government was all over us. The FBI is all over us. They got investigations on us. They got informants. They got surveillance equipment.
He was not cutting you off, but he was an informant for years.
Was he really?
Yeah. That's why when people was like, oh, he's going to run, oh, he's not. It's the reason why these type of people get caught up. They always been telling they bigger than the law because they part of the law, you know? And as you know, all these people get tired of their rats sooner or later. Diddy is an FBI informant. He's been one a long time. So I don't believe that he's going to go to prison. And if he do, it'll be for something very, very small. It wouldn't be nothing what the people think. I don't think he's going to go nowhere long. And at the same time, you got to look at it. The best witness they had is KPD. KPD been an informant for a very, very long time. And KPD is getting ready to go to trial for the murder of Tupac. KPD said it. Everybody else know it. And KPD says the money came from Puffy, the key Tupac, and myself. So if they really wanted Puffy that bad, KPD would have put a deal with them, got on that stand, and broke it down. That would have been the RICO right there. That would have been higher right there.
According to Suge Knight, this outcome was predictable from the beginning. Former bodyguard Gene Deal echoed the same claim, suggesting that Sean Diddy Combs had long-standing ties with federal authorities. For many people following the case closely, even Diddy's arrest initially came as a surprise. What raised even more eyebrows was how he managed to beat most of the charges against him. Critics pointed out that there was reportedly extensive video evidence presented during the case. Yet despite that, the final outcome left many observers confused and questioning how everything unfolded.
50 Cent don't give a damn. He don't give a damn. He literally is saying he's going to reach out to Trump to remind Trump of the things that P. Diddy has said about him for the sole express purposes of making sure that Trump doesn't pardon Diddy in the event that Diddy gets convicted of and racketeering. That's what 50 Cent is sworn to do. And I got to admit to you, that's wild. Damn, you know you got an enemy there when the man want to go out of his way to contact the president, you know, and clearly he has some kind of inroads where he can get to President Trump so President Trump can hear him. He's basically saying, yo, brother need to go down. Brother need to go down and stay down. That's what he's saying. So if Diddy didn't have enough problems, having 50 Cent on your ass is a problem. That's a problem. That's the only thing I can peel from it at this moment in time. I would love for 50 Cent to tell us what exactly is his disgust with Diddy.
Some critics claim that Sean Diddy Combs may have received leniency because of alleged cooperation with federal authorities, despite reports of multiple ongoing investigations surrounding him. Meanwhile, one of his most vocal critics, 50 Cent, is reportedly determined to make sure the situation doesn't simply fade away. Speculation has also surfaced that Diddy could seek help from political figures, including Donald Trump, in hopes of clearing his name in federal matters. In response, 50 Cent has publicly suggested he would even be willing to speak directly to Trump himself to push back against any attempt that might allow Diddy to walk away without facing full accountability.
Diddy out. Yesterday, 50 Cent posted a letter.
Oh, boy.
He said, Dear Judge, I have an ongoing dispute with Puffy for over 20 years. He is very dangerous. Multiple times I fear for my life. I think you should consider the safety of the general public, Your Honor, before unleashing him upon them. There hasn't been enough time for him to reform or make any adjustments, despite him trying to teach a class there. Diddy's only going to return to hiring more male workers and keeping most of the baby oil away from the general public. And babies need it. My Netflix doc on his scandalous subject is coming soon. 50 played too much.
50 crazy.
This also wouldn't be the first time 50 Cent has tried to intervene in the legal battle surrounding Sean Diddy Combs. Last year, when Diddy's legal team filed a motion requesting bail, reports claimed that 50 Cent took the unusual step of sending a letter directly to the judge, urging the court not to approve Diddy's release. The move highlighted just how determined he was to make sure the case continued to face scrutiny.
Court TV has just confirmed that the family of Tupac Shakur is investigating a potential link between the murder of Tupac and Sean Diddy Combs. This coming from attorney Alex Spiro, who represents Tupac's family. Now, this investigation had been previously reported by unnamed sources, but earlier today, Spiro confirmed to our Court TV team that he and a team of investigators has been hired.
Sean Combs allegedly had business dealings with Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, who will go on trial next March for the murder of Tupac. This was back in 1996. Some have speculated that Diddy ordered Tupac's death. That, of course, is just a theory at this point, and we are monitoring the developments in both the Tupac trial and the federal indictment of Sean Diddy Combs. So a lot of information to come on that one.
Many believe that 50 Cent played a major role in keeping public attention on the controversies surrounding Sean Diddy Combs. His documentary, Sean Diddy Combs: The Reckoning, reportedly brought renewed scrutiny to past allegations connected to Diddy after the documentary aired on Netflix and raised questions about possible links to the murder of Tupac Shakur. Reports claimed that Tupac's family moved to hire legal representation to further examine the accusations and determine whether new evidence could be pursued.
Let me ask you this. I get it. When you have a case that's 5 years old, it's hard to get overwhelming evidence that meets the burden of proof beyond a reasonable doubt. When you have cases this old, no matter what Fiddy has found out and put in this documentary, do you see it at all ever possible that Diddy could be involved in a murder trial when it comes to Biggie and Tupac?
It could be possible, yes. However, like I said, they need a lot of corroboration to make that stick, because it's really alleged right now as to his involvement. It's not anything that's substantial or concrete that he was involved. It's personally from people talking about it and saying this is what happened. You need some more information to come forward to prove that.
Law enforcement sources involved in the ongoing investigation into Tupac Shakur's murder have reportedly hinted at the possibility of new criminal charges. What sets this situation apart is 50 Cent's unique role. He was able to gain the trust of people closest to Sean Diddy Combs and get them to speak about their experiences related to the shooting. These are the very witnesses that authorities had struggled to get testimony from for years. Because they trusted 50 Cent, they were willing to open up in ways that had previously been impossible, shedding new light on a case long shrouded in silence.
Also says that Davis was offered immunity during the Biggie Smalls investigation in the early 2000s. The filing reads, the three LAPD and FBI agents were part of a task force to solve the shooting of rapper Notorious B.I.G., also known as Biggie Smalls, legal name Christopher Wallace. The task force, through a sophisticated criminal investigation, obtained sufficient evidence that would prove Mr. Davis was the leader of the Southside Crips and his gang was responsible for over 360 kilos of cocaine and PCP. Mr. Davis provided 3 interviews to obtain immunity from prosecution. The final interview were solely questions regarding the Tupac Shakur shooting, which Mr. Davis was also provided immunity from prosecution. So during a December 2008 interview with investigators, that is when Davis allegedly started to spill the beans about his one-time friend, Sean Combs, who he refers to as Puffy. He claims Sean Puffy Combs solicited Mr. Davis to Suge Knight and Tupac Shakur for $1 million. Eric Zip Martin, an associate of Puffy Combs, provided Mr. Davis with a gun to exact revenge on Tupac Shakur for the beating Mr. Anderson received. Now, Davis reportedly told the investigators that even though the job had been partially completed and Shakur was killed, neither he nor Anderson ever got paid. He later revealed that he believes Combs had paid the go-between Zip Martin, who he claims kept the money for himself. And he said much of the same thing in a 2009 interview a year later, because according to the motion to dismiss, The Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, as far back as 2009, was in possession of the same set of facts that the Clark County District Attorney is now alleging makes Mr. Davis responsible for the murder of Tupac Shakur. The Clark County District Attorney's Office has offered no reason as to why it waited another 14 years to prosecute a case against Mr. Davis. Mr. Davis has been irreversibly prejudiced by this unnecessary delay in prosecution of this case, and Mr. Davis's constitutional rights have been violated in an extraordinary manner never before witnessed in the annals of the American criminal justice system.
Around the same period, Keith D., long considered a key suspect in the murder of Tupac Shakur, allegedly submitted a statement directly implicating Sean Diddy Combs. According to the claim, Diddy was the one who ordered the hit. For years, 50 Cent had been publicly asserting this theory, and Keith D.'s statement seemed to lend shocking confirmation to what 50 Cent had been saying all along.
Documentary, there's a couple things I'll share with you guys on what I took away from it. But Rob, maybe share the clip on how he got access to some of the footage of the documentary. Is this the one, Rob?
Yep.
Go for it.
How did you get that footage of Diddy?
I figured most journalists would not disclose their sources.
Does he know y'all have this in the doc?
I would doubt he knows.
So when this airs, that'll be the first time that his legal team, Diddy, that everybody knows that this footage is now seeing the light of day.
Perhaps. Combs' team firing back in a statement to NBC News, saying the Netflix so-called documentary is a shameful hit piece and that they relied on stolen footage that was never authorized for release. His team sending a cease and desist to Netflix.
The footage featured in 50 Cent's documentary captured Sean Diddy Combs at some of his most vulnerable moments. It's widely believed that this is exactly why Diddy fought so fiercely to block the release of the documentary, knowing it would expose sides of him the public had never seen before.
I think he might be secretly sitting on a whole other docuseries about this. I got on 50's Instagram account today, and I was just like killing some time earlier, and someone had posted a video where they were talking about the whole documentary, and they put out a theory that they think that he has even more footage and that he potentially is going to have a whole second part of this that might release. Now, this is all alleged. None of this is confirmed. This is people talking on Instagram. But 50 posted something to his own account that sort of, in a strange way, addresses this, talking about how he does seem to have these interviews and that he did get some of these other victims on camera. And so I think he might be secretly sitting on a whole other docuseries about this.
Allegedly he said something. Well, he said something similar to that on the Sherry Shepherd show. I hope so. When I tell you I went through all 4 episodes in one city and then went back and watched it again, I want more. And now that he got everyone talking, imagine if he got 22 million out the gate on that one, I'm sure there's more, because there was so many more things he could have covered.
The most shocking part? 50 Cent is just getting started. Fully aware that Sean Diddy Combs might find a way to evade consequences, 50 Cent has already been working on part 2 of his explosive documentary. This follow-up promises to include footage that Netflix previously refused to air due to legal concerns. And 50 Cent has made it clear, he doesn't care about the cost. If necessary, he's ready to release the entire documentary for free on YouTube, just to ensure that Diddy finally faces accountability for his alleged actions.
And is now investigating a sexual battery claim against Sean Diddy Combs. According to the police report, the allegation was made in September in connection to an incident from 2020. The National News Desk, Jeff Harris, joins us. And Jeff, details on this investigation, they're just beginning to develop, of course, but we do know the accuser is a music publicist and a producer. What more can you tell us?
So the allegations in this battery investigation date all the way back to an alleged incident from 2020 involving Combs and a male music publicist and producer who says Combs exposed himself to him after being invited to a photo shoot. According to that police report, the accuser says he was invited to the shoot at a Los Angeles warehouse related to an upcoming project. At that shoot, the accuser alleges Combs began masturbating under a shirt while watching pornography and then exposed himself, telling the accuser to assist. The accuser says he didn't respond to Combs, who continued before throwing that shirt at him.
Keep in mind, Sean Diddy Combs is being allowed to walk free even while at the center of a brand new criminal investigation. This is just one of dozens more that are reportedly on the verge of being announced. On top of that, there are over 100 pending lawsuits targeting him. Eventually, not even Diddy's alleged status as a confidential informant may be enough to shield him from the consequences of his actions. Here's a polished, highly engaging rewrite of your paragraph optimized for narration and retention. This is exactly why Sean Diddy Combs is racing to shift the narrative in his favor. Less than a week after 50 Cent's explosive documentary went viral, Diddy's children announced a partnership with the Zeus Network to release a documentary presenting their father's side of the story. The trailer revealed that Diddy himself will appear in the series. His sons, Justin Combs and Christian Combs, teased the new docuseries in a trailer released on December 28 by Zeus Network's founder.